You don't need to be a day trader to make money. You need to be a good investor, and I guarantee you, you will beat most day traders. In this video, I'm going to break down the 7 best investments for 2024. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Maoli Vodi with Financially Present. And the 7 best investments that you could make, I'm just going to break it down and of course, I'll save a bonus tip for you at the end. But it's really important to realize that there are a lot of investments out there, but the order in which you prioritize these investments is just as critical as the investments themselves. So we are going to start with ETFs. So number 1, exchange traded funds. That is, in my opinion, the utmost important investment in 2024. Exchange traded funds have a beautiful way of allowing you to buy a passively invested bundle of other investments without having to do much work on your own end. And it allows you to be diverse and have that money managed at a very low cost. This just means you're able to invest in something where someone else has done all of the legwork in bundling the investment, and you're able to just enjoy it and go about your day on other things that matter more. The only thing better than exchange traded funds is being able to buy them in the next investment choice. And that's number 2, which is 401k. So I know your 401k is not an investment itself, but it's more of a retirement plan. And just know that when I say 401k, I'm really just referencing all employer-sponsored plans, okay? And particularly 403bs, 457b plans. These are all retirement plans where they are sponsored by your employer. And generally you're gonna see a selection of about 40 or so mutual funds that you have access to. And you literally can invest in many of them and still do really well. All you have to do is continue to work, and you're automatically putting that money aside directly into your investments. And I'll be the first to tell you that the majority of my wealth has been built through my 401k. Anytime I had a 401k that I could roll over to an IRA, I was able to invest that and continue to build that up. When it comes to the investments in your 401k, obviously you can invest in a mutual fund or you can spread it across multiple mutual funds. But as long as you're putting a consistent amount on a regular basis, you are more than likely subject to an employer match. In fact, there are some employers that will put money into your 401k regardless of if you even put money in. So it's even more helpful if you both are contributing to your 401k, you and your employer. And it's a great way to build wealth. And I strongly, wholeheartedly believe that you need to continue to invest in your 401k in 2024. Number 4, mutual funds. Mutual funds are still a top investment choice because you could essentially become an accidental millionaire by just investing in the same mutual fund over and over again. The only drawback with some mutual funds is that sometimes the fees are a little bit higher in comparison to ETFs, and ETFs have they're easier on the tax implications, but ultimately mutual funds are still a very great and viable option. And all you have to do is continue to be consistent, because if you simply allow your contributions to a mutual fund to continue to reinvest and continue to buy more versus actually paying out into a check, you could see that wealth accumulate extremely well, especially in the good years. And then in the bad years, you would still be buying. So you're buying at a lesser amount. So ultimately mutual funds, because they're designed as long-term investments, can still be critically important to your investment strategy in 2024. I know it's been like that for me. The next best investment choice is stocks. Yes, individual stocks. I'll always tell you that it's good to be invested in stocks, especially if it's part of your risk appetite. I know for me, I spent nearly a decade as a stockbroker and investment consultant, and I've seen a lot of gains and losses because of stocks. Whether it's me or even the people that I served as clients, they took on different levels of risk, and that's what stocks can bring. Imagine extra sprinkling on an investment portfolio that allows it to be a little bit more enhanced than you would want it to be. Stocks can do really well individually, but then they can also bring down your portfolio if you made the wrong decision. You could be right about the company, but wrong about the time, or you could be wrong about the industry and right about a particular stock, or vice versa. And it can go either direction. Stocks can be hit or miss and make you wish that you put more into an ETF or mutual fund. That's a gamble you have to be willing to take, or just continue to contribute to the ETF or mutual fund. But stocks are still a very viable option depending on how much seasoning you want in your portfolio. The next best investment choice are high yield savings accounts. And I know those aren't technically investments, but banks are investing your money when you deposit them there. And we are in a high interest yield environment right now. In fact, it's the highest it's been in 22 years in 2024. So you have an opportune time to put your money in a high yield savings account. And one of the biggest perks with a high yield savings account is that they're pretty liquid, and a lot of them don't even have a minimum amount that you need to put into the account. They're online based banks, and I'll include a list below this video that you can use. And don't worry, I'm not affiliated, I'm just giving you a resource. But this is an environment where these interest rates are subject to change. This interest rate market is not static. So you may be seeing interest yields that you may not see in the future, obviously. So high yield savings account can very well be a great part of your portfolio, especially if you have some cash sitting around and you know that it could be working for you. The next investment option for you in 2024 are CDs, or certificates of deposit. And to be honest, I don't personally like CDs that much, but again, we are in an interest rate environment that is very rare. So CDs, which is essentially an agreement between you and your bank, where you deposit money at your bank and they give you interest during that period of time. And then at the end of the period, they would give you your balance back. Okay, and CDs, usually there could be 6-month CDs, 9-month CDs, 12 months, 15 months, 18 months. It really depends on where you catch them. But if you know you have cash that's going to be sitting around and you're not going to need it during that term, CDs are a great way to lock in that rate, because again, we're technically in a static interest rate environment. The interest rates can change based off of the Federal Reserve. But if you have a CD, you can actually lock in that rate, at least for that period of time. So while a high yield savings account allows you to have some flexibility and still enjoy the high interest yield, a CD will allow you to lock it in. And me personally, I don't like things being locked in, and that's why CDs are closer to the bottom of this list. If you're interested in CDs, I say start with your bank and then work your way from there. So recap. In order of the best investments for 2024, ETFs, your 401k, mutual funds, individual stocks, high yield savings accounts, CDs, and then the very last investment. And this investment, I think you can make this investment the entire year, and it's probably going to trickle over into next year too. It's reading. I know. I told you I was a dad. Reading is so important, but specifically 1 or 2 finance books. If you can invest that or bring that into your portfolio, it will change your perception, and you may very well increase what you're investing, or it will change your strategy, or you can avoid making a bad move. But if I had to recommend one book for a beginner investor or someone who's just not encouraged by investing but wants to try it out, the one book I would just mention to try out is Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. A very well-written book with stories that will help just remember things and kind of energize you about investing and how things work, and to take off some of the level of worry or stress when it comes to investing. Definitely check that book out. If you notice, I did not mention cryptocurrencies. I didn't mention NFTs. It doesn't mean I don't believe in those things. I just don't think they are the best investments in 2024. There's still so much to learn about it. They are investments, and I'm technically invested as well, but very minimally. They're just not the best in my opinion right now. So I want you to take those investments and make sure you can check off those boxes. So there you have it. Those are the best investments of 2024. Which ones are you going to add to your portfolio? Are there any that you have questions about? Well, I'm actually going to do a breakdown on all of these different investments. So if you aren't subscribed now, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, so that you don't miss out further breakdowns or financial education from Financially Present. And until next time, stay present.